Dance is a sport. Dancers are the athletes of God. Albert Einstein. As a dancer and an athlete, I've had the opportunity to see both sides of the spectrum. From that experience, I have learned that neither side lacks the amount of effort you need to put in. Basically, what I'm saying is that it is not an easy task. That is, if you want to be a professional in both worlds. However, the steps towards success do not lie only in those areas. The issues that have been uncovered are also in the medical treatment. Dancers are constantly neglected from receiving the same medical treatment as people in other areas do. The purpose of this speech is to hopefully bend the ears of those in the athletic department to finally recognize dancers as a source that also seeks fair medical attention. By doing so, I will show you that we are in fact equal. What inspires people to take action towards this issue is the amount of biases that roam around in the physical activity community. As a person who has also experienced this firsthand, I will share with you a story of the reason why this issue is so impactful to me and other dancers. By proposing a proposition stating why this argument is valid, it will shine light on a subject that finally needs to be brought up more often. To top things off, coming up with a way that helps inform those who are not as educated will aid dancers to seek medical attention they need without having the feeling or getting any form of hostility. To reiterate, the common misconception that a lot of people think is that dance is not considered a sport. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the word sport is defined as an activity involving exertion and skill in which an individual or team that competes against another or others for entertainment. Individual sports exercise the parts of the body like speed, strength, and flexibility. The irony of it all is that dancers utilizes all three of these traits. Still, certain departments hold biased conceptions as to why athletic artists shouldn't receive something such as simple as ice. From a website called debate.org, I have gathered information as to why people think it should not be considered a sport. Opposing arguments suggest that dance is not a contact sport and people who do not physically push their limits to do so. Other arguments say that anyone can dance, therefore it should not be one. I, for one, have seen this actually happen at Fresno City's campus where I could not get a simple leg wrap with ice because I was just dancing. Her words till this day ring in my ears, echoing, "You guys are just playing around. I don't want to waste my ice." Instead of retaliating against those who don't see eye to eye on this topic, advising certain methods will ensure a plausible outcome that both sides can benefit from. A simple solution could be to allow someone who does not think dance is a sport to simply enter themselves into a show or see the progression of a show. Performance-based dancing is not just a walk in the park like most people think. It takes what sports etiquette would call tryouts to begin. Then, if you are picked, you would simply have to train, eat right, and constantly be diligent about attendance because one day can actually hurt in some areas of dance. In doing so, this shows a person that it can be just as tough as practices that the coach gives you. In sports, there is a clear description of who the winner is. That much is true. In dance, the separation from those who dance with the soul and full intent stand out among the rest. Skill and technique can only get you so far in this world. It is the fine line that separates dancers from the ones that actually leave their marks on their audience. It can be cruel to think that you are superior to others in your art form. However, the one thing that both sides have in common is the drive for success. This one factor can be the bridge that harmonizes the two together. By doing this, it will ensure clarity on the dancer's behalf so that they don't have to receive the criticism that they are wrongfully accused of. In the end, the purpose of the speech is to not make you choose a side, but to hopefully open your eyes to the reality that dancing and sport are one and the same. Although there are a lot of gray area in which dance lies, it's fun exploring those uncharted territories. The only thing that pioneers in dance hope to have is the support of outside teams such as the medical department and the sports department. The adjustment is a simple one. Treating us dancers no differently than any other athlete will result in a more harmonious environment. The proposition that dancers should be treated should be something to consider because in the end, we are all active members of the community. By now, you have understand that biased thoughts come from a lack of knowledge. A simple way to solve that problem is allowing those who do not understand to walk a mile in those shoes. Another idea would simply be an invitation to see the inside of the colorful world of dance. And not just for dancers' sake, the script can also be reversed so that dancers have the opportunity to understand just as much. Life's choices cannot just rely solely on what the heart feels. We also need critical thinking that introduces logic so that we as human beings make better sense of things. Albert Einstein may have been onto something when he mentioned how dancers are athletes. That being said, the only way to fully understand something is by getting your feet wet. By doing this, it can definitely be a way to finally end this debate once and for all.